Welcome to
We make love in the kitchen.
I am Namelia,
I'm Garfield.
and today's episode is
Yes.
going to be interesting.
Yes.
So, kind of like a self-reflection
Okay.
because I've heard a lot of ladies and men talk about, past relationships and how women view men.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've decided that I was going to take a look at, how I looked at men that I dated
Yes.
and the choices I made, in particular when I was in college. And my first and second boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah. So, are you ready to get started?
Yes, my love.
To go down the rabbit hole.
Yes.
All right. So, the first person. Okay. So, this is when I was in high school. My father had a strong hold on what I dated, when I dated,
Yes.
and who, what, whatever, right? So
Rightfully so. Yes.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
So I graduated from high school in 1992 at the ripe old age, 18, about to be 19. My father told me while I was in high school that I could look at boys, but I wasn't going to be dating them. I listened to him, didn't date them. I looked at them, I liked them, but no, people that asked me, I'd be like, yeah, nah, my dad is 6'4" and he means what he says. Let it go.
Yeah.
Then my dad advised me to wait till college before I started dating because he said, all boys want from you is sex. I said, all right, my dad hasn't steered me wrong so far. I'm going to listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
Get to college, and I ended up at a city college, literally named City College. And in going to that school to get my bachelor's degree, I looked around. I saw people saw me. People look at you and go, and you look at them and go, whoa, college is filled with a lot of people and a lot of guys. I think somebody has some experience with college and a lot of people. His freshman year. So you get there, you're a freshman.
You're a freshman, yes.
You are from Brooklyn. I'm from the Bronx. It's not like we were suburban children who weren't aware of the fast talking, card sharking, 3-card Monty type of person. So you're looking out for the slick talker.
Yes.
Well, for me, I'm looking out for the slick talker that's trying to get in my pants. And my daddy was like, be wise. So while I'm waiting and watching, I decided that the first person I was going to have intercourse with was going to be someone who I trusted, someone who feared my dad so much so that person would treat me nice and won't treat me badly.
Correct.
And run games on me and mess my head up or do whatever it is people do to each other. I was afraid. One of the reasons I was afraid of getting pregnant, I was afraid of whatever happened to me in my relationship derailing my plans for my education.
Correct.
I led with a lot of fear. So that fear of life happening to me before I was ready for it to happen led me to make the choice I made, which was to date someone that was already known to me. Someone I grew up with.
Family, yes.
And the family.
And the family.
Yes, definitely the family knew that person. This young man, his dad and my dad, best friends, bosom buddies from way back in Guyana. This young man and I grew up in the same town.
Mm-hmm.
We grew up we went to the same school. We were, I think, once or twice in the same class, because in that school, it was so small that you only had class A and class B per level. right?
Mm-hmm.
He was my academic competition. I ended up, when he came to New York, I'd been in America for I think 2 years before he came. His dad sent for him later. So when he came to New York, I was already, oh gosh, that was much later, like 5 years after me. Nonetheless, he came to New York. I was already a freshman in college. I had already started college. And by the time he came to New York, he had already had the equivalency in terms of training and work experience of a person who would have been maybe halfway through college plus a year or two of work experience,
Yeah.
right? But that's how you would weigh that in Guyana. Anyway, so I say all this to say that we dated. We made plans, we regular dates. We made plans. We talked about our future. Um, he, I was 20. He was 20, and he already had a kid. I think he had the child when he was 17, and so I said, well, I had a stepmother. I had said I didn't want to be anyone's stepmother ever, but I knew him. This is what he came with, so it's no big deal. But anyway, so I was like, okay, great. It's my first boyfriend, my first everything. So I thought that's the person, because in where I come from,
yes,
you don't have intercourse with somebody and then you're like, who's next? Mm-mm. This is the one and only.
Yes.
You don't. So that was my one and only, and that was going to be my one and only.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the plan. But then me being raised, half raised, I call, in modern times, with a working dad and a working stepmom, and every couple I know, most of the couples I knew in America, both of them worked.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting a college degree. So what did I say to this person, who, mind you, was smarter than me, if not just as smart as me, right? When we were growing up. Yeah. So I know he didn't lose his brain cells. So I said, well, wait a minute. I'm in college. You should go to college. Why don't you go to college? That seemed like the natural route. Mm-hmm. You come to America, you get better educated, you get a better job. The person said to me, wait a minute. Why do I need to go to college? I said, in order to get a better job and to get a degree. Because to me, a lady with a degree doesn't get with a man without a degree.
Yes.
That was 1993. Okay. So here I am, 1993. I'm 20 years old. Mm-hmm. I'm with my first, and we are making plans to get married and have children, and our families already know each other. We're from the same town. I'm like, this is fantastic. Until I had the bright idea to say, you know what? If you don't go to college and get that bachelor's degree with me, then you can't be with me. I can't be with someone without a bachelor's degree. What is the world going to think of me? I was 20 and silly. Didn't know, I couldn't see that. And didn't ask my father, Daddy, what did you think? Because my father and I were on the outs, because I thought I was a big girl, could manage stuff myself. So I went to college and decided to be independent of my father. So I did not go. This man, my dad, who raised me with all these great ideas, I didn't consult him when it came to making a decision about my dating. Mm-hmm. So I made the decision. And I said to this gentleman, we can't be together, and we can't get married, and we can't raise a family if you go out and use your electrical engineering skills, which were, did I know that was skills that was normal back then. I was happy, because it was in my head, education, get a degree. Because I was going to go get a graduate degree and a doctorate, and I was going forward, and my man in my head had to have those things. I can't be seen with a person. Yeah. So
But
all
you
that
see,
is to say, go
you
ahead,
see
baby.
how life is funny that throughout your life journey, you end up with a man without a college degree. Not that.
Who's using hand skills? You know, listen, go
Listen,
tell your thing.
I went to college,
Yes.
but I did not graduate. I have my IT certification. I'm a technician.
There you go.
It's not that college is not important. It is important. It is super important. But that's not the path for everyone in life. I make a good living. I know how to manage my money. I know how to invest. I know how to take care of me. I have no debts.
Money management,
I can
investment,
pay
self-care.
every month. I pay all my bills.
Ain't no debt.
And I have money left over to invest.
Investing again.
So I'm proof that, yes, you don't need a college degree to live a good life. A technician, a mechanic, an electrician. There are so many skill set, a construction worker where you can make well over six figures without a college degree. And again, that's just because you're telling your story.
Yes, sir.
And we'll kind of go through it, but we make decisions early on in life that as we age and as we grow and as we learn, we get to look back and say, yes, I was young. You didn't consult your father. No. I did not make the right decision. Or you put it in a way to that man that this was an ultimatum.
Yes, it was. I
but
gave an ultimatum.
Life is so funny. That you came back around and you ended up with a man
with no college,
but is able to take care of himself. And I already described it, so I don't have to go into detail. But it shows you life is funny. But you could continue.
So, and that's exactly why I chose to tell this story, because we had a viewer who sent me a message saying that when I did the video where I said I'm grateful that I have a man, I celebrated, my whole story isn't available in a little snippet.
Yeah.
So that you can then go, oh, okay, I see. That was what she was like when she was 20, when she was 30, 40, and now 52, almost 53. Well, 8 months away from 53, but still, I've changed over time, right?
Correct.
But the what the snippets you see isn't my whole life. So I said, you know what? Here's my opportunity to say, I started out one way and I changed my outlook on life.
Correct.
Because that outlook when I was 20 didn't suit me and it didn't match the people I met, and the quality of people I met. And not only that, the people that were interested in me. So not good people that are interested in me didn't come in bachelor's degree packages and didn't all come in master's PhD packages.
Yes.
They came in whatever package they came in. So I had to look at the person and say, is this person good?
Yes.
And peel off the wrapping, So that's what this whole thing is all about, is to not just look at the packaging.
Yes. And I think that's important for a lot of the young women.
To have an open mind.
Again, to have an open mind, and especially in the age that we are kind of living in, that the 666, a man has to make six figures or above, and all of these financial criteria, where you're not looking at the character of the person, because you could look at me and you could look at what I make yearly, but you're not factoring, does this man knows how to manage his money? This man, he has no debt.
He ain't broke.
This man is able to pay all his bills monthly. This man is able to invest what's left over at the end of the month, or help family members that may need financial help. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that college education, life experience,
Yeah.
kind of as you go through life, life experience kind of outweighs college experience, because college is more for degrees, your job,
paper, right?
Yeah, your
Yeah.
paper, and then what you do professionally. But I've raised 3 children. Both of my sons are doing well, and they both didn't graduate from college yet, but they both have professions
Yes.
that they are going to continue to excel and grow.
Yes.
One of my son, he's a truck driver. He's paying off all his debt. He'll be finished by the end of this year. By next year, he's looking to purchase his own truck. And he's not even 30 yet.
That boy, he's not even 25.
He's not even 25 yet. So imagine 10. So there is a,
Yes.
but the most important thing, at least as it pertains to my 2 sons, and grant you, they both didn't go to college. And it's not that, it just worked out that way. They just both didn't go to college, but they fell into profession where they could grow as time goes on.
Exactly.
But the main important things that I am proud of them of is their characters as young men. And I think that's missing. And that's the most important thing, that as we look, yes, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be an engineer, certain profession does require you to go to college. But I think the most important thing that we're kind of missing in this age of money and the requirement to be in a relationship with a person is the character of the person. Yes,
that's right.
You want a person that is able to stand on their own financially, able to pay their own bills, doing investing and so forth, have money in saving, have an emergency fund, and all of those things are important as a grown adult for both male and female.
Yes.
Please, for both male and female, it is something that is a must.
Yes.
But it boils down to, even if I have the money, know how to manage my money, I have the investment, but I'm a horrible person, it doesn't matter. The money and all of that will eventually, because of my character, it will destroy the relationship. It's the character
and
that
not only
helps
that,
to hold the relationship
you
together.
Having money has nothing to do with me. You could have all the money, and that's not my, it doesn't automatically become my money when we date and when we get married, especially if you take care of your business and hide that money well. But nonetheless, your money has nothing to do with me.
Correct.
And my philosophy is that separately, we need to be good managers of ourselves.
Correct.
And that includes mental, financial, and how you socialize. You need to be good managers of yourself.
Correct.
Or,
So we
on
don't
your way
want
to
yes. So
no believer.
So we want.
So that's it. So basically, to wrap up my first boyfriend, character, good family, great upbringing, brains were there, potential was there. I, at age 20 in 1993, could not see the benefit.
Yes.
So I said, and he said, man, please, I'm not doing this. You're not going to make me go to college if I want to go to college. I get enough education and I get enough practical experience that I could make my way. And he did.
Yes.
So we were friends, family friends. So it's not like I'm like, forget that guy, he's a bum. No, I made a decision that If you're not going to go to college, then we can't be together.
Yes.
He said, well, then we're not going to be together. Stood up for what he meant.
Yes.
And stood up for it.
Yeah.
Didn't let me wishy-washy turn him into something he wasn't. And he stood up for himself. Met a lovely young lady. I believe she was a nurse or something, but met a young lady years later. I went to his uncle, another of my dad's besties, because the two brothers, his dad and his uncle, were my dad's best friends growing up. Went to the uncle's funeral where, I got to see him, got to see the lady he was fiancé, going to marry.
Yeah.
And they're living a great life. 20-something years later married. So, hey, there it is.
Yes.
What did I learn from that? Nothing then. I didn't learn anything in 1993. I thought tough luck for him. So all I did was close up shop, and I focused on getting my focused on getting my bachelor's degree.
Yes.
Graduated, went, then I'm going to focus on that. But then I said, I did graduate, but between graduation and my first boyfriend, I ran into another young man whom I met when I re-met again when I was 15. His uncle and my dad, here I am with these family friends, right? I like safety where my dad has to know. So my philosophy was this: if I can't really introduce my father to this person, then it has to be somebody that fears my dad. It has to be somebody my dad already knows, even though he knows I'm not with that person. He didn't know I was dating that person. So my second boyfriend, 3 years later, here I am. We met again, happenstance. Here I am walking the streets of Manhattan, and there he is in his suit and tie with a buddy and a briefcase. And I'm like, aren't you somebody's nephew? And he's like, yeah. He's like, aren't you? I said, yeah, that's me. And at the time, I had my braces because I was a junior in college now. I was getting ready to prep myself up for graduate. Yeah. So I got my braces to straighten out my crooked teeth and all that good stuff. I had my Toni Braxton haircut. I thought I was looking cute. I was a skinny chick. I was like, yeah, I'm ready to graduate and go and conquer the world and go to grad school. And when I come out of grad school, I'm going to get me a ring. Well... So I bumped into this gentleman. I said, wait a minute. I'm looking good. I'm getting my education. This person is smart. I knew that from, when I was 15 years old, when we met at his uncle's wedding. And I was like, my daddy looked at me and goes, So here I am. What is it? A good 8 years later. I'm no teenager anymore. And I'm like, ooh. Yes, I always liked that one. So what did I do? Here's my number. Months later, we're in a relationship. Okay, here's the confession, right? So this person also grew up in the same small town. This person, my dad knew him. My dad is good friends, great friends with his uncle. In fact, we used to go to his uncle's like every 6 weeks or so for dinner, Sunday dinner. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so families already know each other. So guess what is meant to be?
Yes.
It's meant in the stars. I didn't learn anything from the time I was 20 to the time I was like 23, 24 years old. Nothing, didn't learn a thing. So now here's where I took it a step further. I didn't do ultimatums, so I didn't learn, right?
Well,
go ahead, babe.
The mistake that you made with the first one.
Yes.
Because we're talking about relationship and we're talking about relationship at an early age.
Yes.
In your 20s. And most of the time, especially in the past, the parents were involved in you making the decision who you were going to be with. Yes. Especially the father was involved, the mother to a degree as well, but the family was involved. You are describing a situation that you made decision with the first one and with the second one without your father, who is the biggest influence in your life up until that time, or the family. So what you're showing and what is not discussed a lot is that a lot of women are making decisions on their own, and it could be both for male and female as well. I don't want to, because historically, for both male and female, the family was involved in the decision. It wasn't just the women, but we're living now in this society where the man is making a decision on his own, not really consulting his father or someone, a family member, or someone that he trusts that could kind of guide him in the right direction to make the right decision. It's now playing out in your life that as a young woman, you met and been in relationship with two men, but you are making the decision on your own.
Sure am.
And then it kind of...
Because I'm a big college girl.
You're a big college girl. So,
you know, I paid my tuitions. I could handle this because I financially made it work. Yes.
Well, you don't have life experience.
No, I don't. Because I went from my daddy to being by myself.
Yes.
And just like, whoa, oh my God. I'm like, there's a lot out here. Ooh, there's a lot out here. So, but I was too scared to... Pregnancy scared the crap out of me before I was ready. So my celibacy and slim choices, yes, it was nice that people like, oh, Dad don't like her. Yeah, it's great to say.
Yes.
People didn't like me, and that's how I ended up. Nah. People liked me, but I was scared of pregnancy. So I did not mess with anyone that my daddy couldn't choke. There you go. So now I am down to this person here. I'm a little older. I've been waiting and being a good girl. So I said, all right, this guy looks great. I know his uncle. My daddy knows his uncle. We're almost family. But here's where I made a mistake. I decided that since he was already working, already had his master's or whatever the people have when they deal with money. He already went to college. He already proved himself. So he had the bachelor's I was looking for. Well, the degree I was looking for. Bing. He was already working. Bing. I was going to graduate in a year and go to grad school. Bing. What man wouldn't want a fine looking woman who just got her teeth straightened out and braces? What man wouldn't want a fine looking size 2 young lady, fresh out of college, going to grad school, whose family he's already familiar with? Yeah, that was me. So I told myself that this was my boyfriend. We are in a relationship. We are going to get married. We are going to have children. We're going to do all these things because in my mind, you do not have sex with someone that you do not intend to marry. I was still stuck in being silly and made up a fake relationship. So that's mistake number two. Number one is to assume that because I was getting my bachelor's and he had one, that's what he was interested in. Mistake number 3 was to mistake the fact that my sexual attraction made me perfect for marriage. I never even talked with this guy. Never even talked to me about marriage. He didn't even. Here's the deal. I never met his mother. He met my mama. He knows my mama because we grew up in the same town. However, his mother didn't raise him. So I never met his mother. I met his auntie and his family that raised him. I knew his cousins, but he has a blood brother. I never met him. He has a blood father. Never met him. He met my mama. He met my daddy. He knew my people. He knew everything about me because he met them, right? So in my head, once I graduate, then we become solid. Then I get to meet all these people in his life. In the meantime, I was giving away the milk without a promise ring, without a promise speech, without a promise message, without any talk. This is all happening in my head. too silly to realize that I didn't talk about it. He didn't talk about it. He didn't bring it up. All we talked about was going to a concert.
Yes.
Maybe here's when I realized that I was in a fake relationship that I made up in my head. So I made plans. I graduated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, lie. It was December. I ended up changing majors, which added another 6 months to my term, right? So I should have graduated, but I didn't graduate like I should. I had 6 more months. So I said, okay, I'm finished with school in December. So I decided I wanted to walk and have the walk ceremony with the other people in June instead of just, doing nothing. So I had to wait from December till June to walk in the graduation ceremony. Some people will understand that one. So anyway, that October of 96, I say, it's time to apply to graduate school. Actually, way before then, like you do that in February. I'm applying for graduate school. This is after, I hate to say it, but really it was a sexationship. It wasn't a relationship. But in my head, after being in a relationship for a year and a half, I'm like, all right, me and my fake boyfriend have to make a decision about where I'm going to go to grad school. So I applied for 4 schools in the vicinity of where I lived / he lived. Right? Close to family and him. Then I also made a Hail Mary and I said, just in case I'll go to one here and one there. So, but it's all on the eastern seaboard where, New York ain't so far from where it is. So I made these strategic plans of where I was going to apply for grad school. And then I say to the gentleman, sir, I'm graduating. I'm finished in December. Christmas comes. We're talking and celebrating holidays here, and I'm done with school. I thought I was going to spend the next 6 months like snuggled up in a bug in a rug, like living that life. The man says, what schools did you apply to? I said, I told you. He's like, tell me again. That didn't ring any bells for me, right? So I told the man the list of schools I applied to. The man said, oh, that's good. I said, that's it? The man said, yeah. He's like, those are good schools. Sounds like great plans you're making. I said, well, you don't have any comments about the distance of these 2 schools? Yeah, they're good. They're good schools. I said, that's what he said is they're good schools. He's not saying, most people, if you're in a real relationship, right, would say, well, how often will we be able to see each other? What's their schedule like? When you're getting off? And when do you want me to pick you up, meet you? Well, he didn't drive, but I drove. I had a license to drive, didn't have a car. I said, okay, we could meet. No, the man didn't say anything to me about the distance of the schools and the difficulties of us maintaining the relationship.
The phantom relationship.
And that's when this idiotic, just graduating person who took psychology as a major finally got my wake-up call. And that's when I realized I'm in a vacationship.
Yes.
I'm in a sexationship. I'm in a 1996 situationship before there was even such a word.
And looking at your story.
Yes, sir.
And we have to factor in age. And we have to factor in
90, what was I born in 73, 96? I was 23.
Yeah, you was 23.
24, yeah.
Yes, you was 23.
I was 23 in age, but this is where I hate to say it, but this is where people talk about, oh, you were developed. No, I was
You was academically smart,
but
you had no life experience. There's 2 different things. Because I could look at myself. I'm 57, soon to be 58 next month. I was a babe
in the woods when it comes to that type of stuff.
There's no way that at the age of you're in your 20s where, yes, you may be academically smart. There's no way I have the same life experience that I have now after bringing up 3 children, going through a 25-year marriage, and all that have occurred from the age of 25 to 50, and to say that I'm able to make the right decisions all the time in my 20s. You don't have the life experience yet. And that's why I mentioned in this example, your father, your mother, or family member who has the life experience to say,
what if guided
do this, do this, don't do that, don't do. Because I know a lot of times we are saying, well, people in their 20s, they are adults, they're going to college. Yeah, they're going to college and they're just having sex with everyone. Doesn't mean that because they are in college and they may be smart academically that they have the life experience to know what they're doing, the impact that will have on their life for both male and females. I think we need to have a video on that separately, where a lot of times women are being beaten down on or saying that they're this, they are 3 or 4s because of the decision that they made in their 20s. But when the man do it, their character is not questioned.
No.
The woman character is questioned for the decisions that they made, but the man's and it's both. It's both, because it plays out in life that I look back at the decisions that I made and the things that I did in my 20s and said, no, that was morally wrong for what I did. And it applies to both. But to kind of going back to your situation, it showed that if at the time that, and life works out the way it is, that if your father was involved in your decision making, that would have been vital in the outcome. But life happens.
For a reason.
For a reason, yes. But I think that's important, that a lot of times we look back now because we are in our 50s and we talk down and we criticize a lot of these, mainly women, the decision that they're making in their 20s, and realize they don't have the life experience and the guidance, guidance that they will get from a father, they will get from a mother, they will get from a family member. You don't have the life experience in college to be making the right decision. Some are able to do it, but it's not majority.
No. And I mean, like we would say at home, I could have been tearing tail, meaning just sexing it up left and right at college. But, you know, my fear of pregnancy just said, just don't have sex. Until
it stemmed from your father.
Well,
but it stemmed from your father and things that happen in a lot of people's life.
Yes, true.
But because you made the decision of who you get in a relationship with is like, oh, my father have to know him. They have to know my father to know my father is 6'4" and my father don't play. So you don't play with me because.
So for me, it was like back in the 90s, you were thinking about, well, you had like AIDS and stuff like that. But AIDS, you did protection the best way you could, right? But anyway, for me, it was more rough treatment. I didn't want anybody roughing me. I didn't want anybody like handling. I didn't want that because unfortunately, go to high school in the Bronx, you had, girls, they were handled and roughed and their men owned them. So I wanted any person I was with to know the man that owns me is my daddy. And if you mess with me, as much as me and my daddy weren't seeing eye to eye because I wanted my independence, and I had roommates. I went to have roommates in college instead of staying home. Hey, okay, my dad. So I specifically chose people who knew
That is
who my
crazy.
father was.
Yes, that is
that
crazy.
he crazy.
So yes,
and that limited me to who I could interact with.
Who you interact with.
And I stayed in my small community of the GT people, Guyanese people who,
Yeah.
So that's
because going back to kind of relating to your story, going back to biblical times, or going back to the past.
Yes.
It was the father that did the choosing. He would choose a good man to be the husband to his daughter.
Yes.
The women weren't running around.
No.
Oh,
I
want to sleep. I like him. I want to sleep with him. I want to do a test drive on him. I want to sleep with him. I like him. I want to do a test drive on him. Oh, okay. I slept with.
Oh, gosh.
No. Yeah. Nor was it like that for the male. Because you couldn't just sleep with any man's daughter like that. Because back then, a man may have 2 daughters, 10 sons. You have to go through the 10, you have to go through the father, the 10 brothers to get to the daughter. That wasn't possible. So I know a lot has been said, but that wasn't possible. Well, going back, the man would choose a husband for his daughter based on what? The man's character. That's a good man
and family
for my
lineage and all that
daughter.
kind of
Yes,
stuff. Yeah,
that's a good man for my daughter. But
funny enough,
there's
my bestie calling me. I'll have to call her back.
In today's society, all of that is kind of turned around in the sense that the women are doing the choosing, and most of the time they're not choosing right. Early on in their age, right? And a lot of times we see, women having multiple children by multiple men because of the decision that they're making, because what the family structure is out of whack. And most of the time, the father or the family is not truly involved in the decision initially.
Or even the vetting process.
Yes, that's why I say initially, the vetting process is, no, that's not a good man for you.
And you also listen to them.
Yes.
So that I think is kind of like a lot of it. Things may have changed.
Yes.
Where I had the freedom of choice.
Correct.
I wasn't under my father's home and protection, so to speak.
Yes,
I had the freedom to choose,
and it's not always a good decision because you lack the life skill. Because you have to think about it this way: you're choosing to be with someone for the rest of your life.
Yes,
it's not you're choosing. It's not temporary.
Yes.
You're choosing to. It is the most to give yourself to a person. It's the most intimate. It's the most vulnerable. You're giving your all to a person. To the first person. It is the most important decision that you're making in your life.
Yep.
And most of the time, people's in their 20s. You don't have the life experience to make that decision.
Well, I was
by yourself alone.
I was an oddball to be a college sophomore.
Yes.
And still be a virgin.
But it stemmed from your father.
Well, that's true.
Being with you, seeing the relationship that you have with your father.
Yeah, well,
you being a virgin in your 20s, it stems from your father. Yes, there were family members that you saw that got pregnant in their teenage years, but the fear of being pregnant, the fear of just giving yourself to any man and every man,
beat me up or something.
it stemmed from the influence and the impact that your father had on you.
All right, so that's it. We have run amok of
Yes.
father's influence and all that thing, and oh, daddy just hold on to the daughter them, and then when the daughter get freedom, the daughter go and make mistake left and right. Anyway, so I say all this to say, here's the funny part. And this is where you put people business out there, but I ain't mention no name and I ain't calling nothing. But here's one thing I find out.
Yes.
With boyfriend number 2, when he wasn't a boyfriend. He was a situationship. The first one was a real deal, Holyfield, that I gave ultimatum to, and the person said, bye, Felicia. Anyway, the second one, I thought I was this is the one, you get the degree, why not? Well, guess what? Looking back, I can see that I wasn't his person. I was just a sex person.
Yes.
And a sex person with no strings, because I didn't talk to him about you must do this and you must do that and you must. I didn't even give him ultimatums. I gave the other guy the ultimatums. Anyway, didn't give him any ultimatums, didn't give him any deadlines, nothing.
Yes.
Just free flowing.
You assumed everything.
I assumed everything. A fool. You know what they say about assuming. But anyway, but really I made the ass of me, not him.
Correct.
Years go by. I, go to grad school, come out of grad school, meet my now ex-husband. Because all I did was focus on school. Like, I was like, school. Got to get my master's, got to get my stuff. Comes out of grad school, master's everything. Got a job. Meets my ex. Now he's an ex, but meet my the man I was going to marry. Met him. Now we're together a good 10 years. Got a divorce. 3 years or so after that divorce, situationship comes into play, because guess what? It's a small community. We bump into each other. I kept his phone number and never erased it from my Rolodex. It just rolled over. But even so, it was Facebook friends. I didn't delete any of those things. When I was married, I just didn't communicate with the person. And then the person, my sister, she's the CNN or GNN. She knows all the news on Guyana news and everything she knows. But anyway, my sister's giving me updates on people, right? So she tell me, oh, the boy married, he's married to a nurse and all this stuff. I said, oh, that's fantastic. Hey, I wasn't his type. I'm in a marriage. I'm good. I'm happy. Congratulations. Now I'm divorced, and so the person hits me up on Facebook. So I was like, I've been divorced 3 years. I say, hey, what's up? How you doing? You still married? You still doing whatever you're doing? How many kids you got and all that? He ain't got no kids yet. I was like, oh, okay. That's a surprise. Whatever. I said, well, I have one kid. We're catching up, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Friendship. Guess what? We were family acquaintances before intimacy, right? No big deal to me. I was respectful in my marriage. I did not speak with people with whom I was once intimate with. So I respected his marriage by keeping it straight. Until the person was like, so I said, I asked, who's your wife? Is it someone we know? I know we grew up with, stuff like that, background stuff. He didn't want to say. So I said, okay, this is weird. And that's when it dawned on me that this person was married, and he was reaching out to me not because I'm a divorcee. Hey, a good sexationship is always a good sexationship, right? Not for me. I don't knowingly, willingly, deliberately, slightly blind, pretending I'm blind, slip into somebody else's business when they have business. No, thank you. So I stopped the conversations. I stopped whatever. So anything that was seen about me was through Facebook. And that's when I came off of Facebook. And I said no more, because here's this person trying to slide into my DMs. When they were still married.
Yes.
So then I said, okay, let me just give him an option of no option. I'm not an option. I'm out. Great. So now, just the same year I turned 50, find out the guy is now divorced through my sister GNN. So she lets me know the guy's divorced. I said, oh, wow, we're catching up on people from the old town, right? So she's telling me he's divorced. I said, oh, okay. Then I get a message on WhatsApp. So then we start talking again. And I'm asking, how are you doing? You okay? Because I said, I remember my divorce. I was devastated. I was embarrassed. Every emotion I could have gone through. I don't know if men go through the same thing, but I figured as someone that I once knew intimately, how are you doing as a human being?
Yeah.
Is everything okay? Reaching out? Oh, okay, fine. Da 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 da. The person is interested in sliding into the DMs. And I'm like, well, I wasn't good enough when I was young and fresh. But I'm going to be good enough now that you're a divorcee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a divorcee. I can manage myself. Certain things happened and changed in that person's life that made me question their genuineness. So let's just say that that person was no longer an option for me, because I had to realize that I was never a marriageable option for that person. So I was like, I'm going to go on Black People's Meet and meet strangers instead of trying to go back. Because, I'm not good enough to marry, but I'm good enough to have a cheat with. Nah, thank you. I don't borrow. I don't beg. I don't lend out. So I ain't lending him and I ain't borrowing somebody else's man, because I don't want a borrow man. Keep your man. I keep in mine. There's all I gotta say. So there's nothing for Guyanese. I don't play with nobody man, and nobody coming to play with me man. I don't give free and I don't borrow. I don't beg, lend. Or I don't care how you want to do it. You ain't even got nothing. So I don't, anybody that say I do something with their man, they're lying.
Yes, my love. But it shows you life come full circle.
So here I am.
Yes.
With a guy. I'm 50, almost 53.
Yes.
So 30 years later, when I'm a dried up old hag that ain't got nothing for nobody to offer nobody.
Behave yourself.
I found me a freshie.
Behave yourself. But it kind of shows you. It kind of shows you.
He's going to get me
that,
later.
Yes. Listen, in life,
yeah,
we make mistakes. When we're young.
Yes.
And especially when we're trying to navigate life alone, not including someone, whether it be your father, your mother, or uncle or a relative, or someone who has your best interest in heart to say, to guide you through life, through the mistakes that you may make. And you make the wrong decision, but you may recover from it. It may take you 10 years. It may take you 20 years. It may take you 30 years. Life is a journey. And you could look back and you could reflect on the decisions that you made. You could reflect on the impact that your father had in your life. And then when he wasn't really in your life, the decision that you made that it derailed you a little in the sense as it pertains to relationship. Yeah. Not as it pertains to your academic career and moving forward. It's two separate things. Yeah. But you can now look back, and now when you're older and wiser, and the person then reach out to you, you say, no, you're not a man of good character, that in the sense you did not want me or be in a relationship with me, to marry me, but now you're come back. And that's how life is. Because you cannot take God out of the equation of life. Yep. You make the mistake or someone treat you bad, but 5, 10, 20 years later, you may get the opportunity to say, no, I don't want you. you dumped me, you didn't want me, you didn't want to be in a relationship with me. So now, no, I don't
And then
want
I
to.
was old too, so I'm like,
Well, stop saying old.
older, better, I
but
was
wiser.
seasoned. Well, to
And
know that
with life
there was no,
experience.
yeah, that's not going to be. There wouldn't have been a good future in that, because in the back of my head, I'm always thinking, here I'm young, and before. Man, I cut my hair off because that person liked hair. I liked good, like permed
Yeah.
black hair that's permed and done and looking coiffed. That person liked hair. I cut my hair down to like an inch, if that much. Cut off all my hair. I went to a grad school that was. I went from New York to Massachusetts and never knew anybody in Massachusetts, just to get away from this person so I wouldn't be tempted to do anything.
Yeah, because we cannot ignore that we're not affected by a relationship.
Yes.
The previous, we are human beings.
Turned out that it was a situation.
Yes, regardless a situationship or not, because we both experience heartbreak.
Yes.
That you don't want to be around the person, so it's going to lead you to make the decision that I'm going to go as far away as possible.
I'm going to cut that man right out of my hair.
You're going to cut your hair, but look how life turns out. That later on, 10, 20 years later, now he's coming back to you, not in this, for whatever his intentions are, he's coming back. Life is funny that way. And what I want people to take away from this is a variety of things you could take away from this, is that we cannot walk through this life alone. We always will need the guidance of someone to make sure, especially when you're young and you're dealing with relationships.
Yes.
You always need guidance. It's just like starting a new job. You don't come out of college and get into a new job and you know everything. You need a mentor.
Exactly.
You think you're going to go through life making decision about the most important thing as it pertains to life is the person that you're going to sleep with, be in bed with, raise children with, and you're going to make that decision alone. And if it doesn't work out, it could alter your life for years, for decades.
Which may explain why a lot of people who were, 1, 2, 3 marriages in, and then the third or fourth marriage is when they're like, the light bulb came on.
Yes.
I get it now. I have to do things differently.
And you don't want to make a decision of being with the wrong person.
On the job learning experiences.
Yes. You don't want to make a decision that you bring the wrong person in your life and it could just alter your life for years and decades before you get back on track and you say, okay, now I found myself, now I'm at peace, but it took me 10 years because this person came in my life and I made the decision without going to dad or going to mom or going to family member. So it's a lot of that happening. But
knowing my father, well, let's just put it this way. After the fact, after I explained to my dad that I was with this person, my dad was like, oh, that is a great response. Oh. Oh. And
if that was in the picture at the time,
my daddy
it would never have
But
happened.
you know what? The way my father was, he wasn't like no, you didn't. It wasn't like I was under his thumb.
Yes.
My father, when I wanted to know about anything, anything, my dad was an open book.
Yes.
Now, my daddy didn't give me details about his life, but he did tell me that he was not always a choir boy.
Yes.
I think my dad might have been a quarter of a choir boy. But he let me know why I should have waited and not engage in sexual activities in high school. And I believed him because I watch people and I go, oh, yeah, he right. Okay? In college, That's when I said, oh, I listened to him in high school. I am ready. No, I should have kept that old geezer and go, Daddy, this. What do you think? This. What do you think? And I know my dad would have given me a different advice, because my dad himself did not get a bachelor's degree. My dad got a certificate in telexing or banking, right? He got that later in life. When I was in junior high school, my father was a banker because he came up from the bottom up in a bank. So he didn't get doesn't have a bachelor's degree. So he would have been able to let me know what someone with certain skills was capable of doing and what I could do as a support system so it would work. So I did not go to the source. But
to
guess
give you
what?
the information on the character of the
person.
Yes.
So for me, I learned later to focus on the character, and that if the person is showing that they are a responsible adult, start with that.
Yes.
Not, do they have a bachelor's degree? Let me start there. Because quite frankly, as it turns out, nowhere in the world would I have been that I would have been invited to, that I had to go, where my mates' degrees mattered. I became with a public servant, serving the public. My degree was important.
Yes.
To be the public servant in a position.
But for the relationship,
but for my relationship,
your degree is not a degree for maintaining a relationship or picking the right person to be in a relationship with. That's not what the degree
didn't even
is
matter.
for. Nope.
I didn't know
that
this.
comes from the family. That comes from the father. That comes from the mother. That comes from people who are in your life that will help you make that decision. It doesn't come from the college
And
degree.
I think that's where getting advice is good.
Yes.
Like, this is a guy. People ask, what does he do for a living? And you tell them what person does for a living, and a person could say, okay, well, let me let you, like, so far in this industry, da 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 da. Especially if it's someone you want to marry or tie bundles with, or just live forever together, right? This is your man. This is going to be your person. The person could say, oh, wow, okay, well, I could see, like, what does Garfield do for a living? You're in IT. What does that mean? Information technology? Don't laugh. What does it mean?
Information technology,
Yeah,
but
thank God.
I am a technician more than in IT.
IT
I previously
person. Okay.
was in IT, so I have that technical skill, but I consider myself more of a technician. I do the hands-on work. So
Okay,
I'm
so
more
you
of
like
a technician.
them nice hands.
Yes.
So that's like, before this gets more in making love in the kitchen,
Yes.
keep your hands to yourself, please.
All right, my
and
love.
I'll keep my hands right here.
Okay.
So before this gets too weirdo, as I was saying, I would ask the person. My big brother, who's like my mentor, says to me, hey, what does Garfield do for a living? I say, oh, he's into IT. He does technical stuff. He plays around with machines and stuff like that, and whatever. And the person said, oh, that's great. That means that your skill could transfer someplace else where you have the rudiments to adapt.
Yes.
And get something someplace.
Yes. Anything technical, I'm able to there will be a slight learning curve, but because I have the experience, it will be less of a learning curve to just adapt, learn it, and become proficient.
There you go. Proficient.
Yes.
So here I am with Mr. Proficient.
Yes.
No bachelor's, no master's, no PhD.
No PhD. But a man of good character, a man that knows how to manage his money, a man that knows how to take care of a lady, a man that knows how to build a relationship and maintain a relationship, a man that knows how to love a good woman.
Don't be looking at me like that. I'm watching you, watching me, baby. You're going to get us in trouble.
Yes.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been wonderful sharing my experience with you. So that, that's my background on manology. how I did so well maintaining myself, and then how I had ideas in my head that did not match reality.
Yes.
Fantasy.
Yes.
Okay? And I'm sure there are people who had similar situations like mine. But hey, I lived, I learned.
Yes.
And I didn't make the same mistakes or didn't do the same types of judgment as I did. I didn't do it at 50 that I did it when I was 20 and 23, 24, right? So I hope this was funny for some people, get a good laugh out of it. An aha for some people, or a for some people. And for the young folks, if there's someone that has a young person, be like, hey, watch this old lady tell you a thing or two about the decisions that she made based on what was going on in her head. And I didn't consult the person who raised me to consult him. I didn't go to the master. The student thought that she was the master. So would my life have been spectacularly, fantabulously, perfectly wonderful had I made a different decision?
No. You don't know. And life is not set
Am I
up
going
that way.
back going,
no.
I'm going to call those people? And no, because I had ample opportunities to reflect and say, these people are living the life they're living without me.
Correct.
And I'm good. I'm smart enough now, learned a lot now to know that you can't be friends with a person that you used to have an intimate relationship with. It will, unless both of you are, if you're in a relationship, you can't be friends with someone you used to have an intimate relationship with.
No, you cannot.
And now that I know that, I also know that even though I may not have had a sexual relationship with the situationship, I violated his relationship by having a conversation with him. Even after I knew he was still married and all that kind of stuff. I knew that I may have even violated my relationship to a certain extent by not deleting those information. Like, these are things I learned now that, okay, if you're had an intimate relationship with a person and you're with someone new, delete all those old numbers. It's not useful. And this way someone can't, if they got to catch you on social media. And on social media, you could just block them and that's it. And they'll understand. This person is in a relationship. Don't reach out because there's no need. So now I know. Please drop us the comments. Don't forget to like us, subscribe to us. And we look forward to sharing more. Maybe we'll get him to share some do's and don'ts of relationships.
Yes.
Past and present.
I'll think about it.
No, he won't. He's not the sharer. Who is the sharer? Big Moat?
Yes.
And the moderator.
There you go.
There you go. Liberal, ultra conservative. Or more social liberal. I'm not really too. Whatever
we'll
I am.
Figure it out.
I'm all over the place.
Yes.
Thank you. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful time. And until next time, this is us making love in the kitchen. On the couch. I can't. I'm a nut.